Greetings, this is PtahRe Baba L back with you again. I just had some things on my mind that I felt like I needed to get off. The things I have on my mind is the ways that we have been fooled. This is something that since MySpace and now Facebook that I have been doing for a while, trying to teach people how to concern critical thinking, critical analyzation, using reasoning skills, things of that nature. Most of our people don't. Even the ones who claim conscious on certain levels don't do these things. What you find out is a lot of people who say they're not sheep are still sheep. Let me touch a subject real quick. Us having leaders. There's nothing wrong with having leaders, but this is a time, we're moving into a time where everybody is ascending into mastery. Well, not everybody, but that's the level of awareness that many of us have come to. Now, I've noticed that a lot of people, if you're not a follower of Dr. Hendrik Clark, Dr. Ben, Dr. York, or Yahweh Ben Yahweh, it depends on Dr. Africa or such. It depends on what school of thought a person is in. If they're in the health, it may be Dr. Sabi that they follow. It may be Dr. Africa. If they're into biblical studies, I'm talking about melanated people. They're in the biblical studies, it may be Ben Ami or Yahweh Ben Yahweh that people follow. If it's metaphysical spacecraft type knowledge of nine ether forces, then you may be dealing with Nuwapians or Dr. York. If it's Black Power, it's either Black Panthers or Marcus Moshe Garvey, and so many different people. You know, if it's just regular conscious people that just claim regular consciousness that don't actually have a school of thought that they're in per se, as in an organization or some type of that thing like that, they're usually into something else. But here's my thing: if something falls out of line with that school of thought, this goes to the Moors also, and with Noble Drew Ali and whoever else, the Nation of Islam with Farrakhan, whoever else. If something doesn't fall in line with what they said, their leaders said, then it's automatically deemed not true in a lot of cases. And then people will argue about these things, and I keep telling people that arguing and debating is part of that plan to keep us divided. That's why I don't get into arguments and debates. It's not because I don't know what truth is, I don't know the facts, I don't know the historical timeline of things. It's because I'm not going to fall bait for those things. That's why I say debates, when I break it apart, is dead baits. It's for people still in that argumented mind state that haven't moved and rised above that. But I'll get into that later. I just wanted to get into that. Just because your leader, your pastor, your master teacher didn't say it doesn't mean it's not true. It's like saying, for instance, it's like saying, okay, say people flock to me, and everybody say I'm the answer and I have all the answers in the world. Well, my question is, how do you know that? Have you met everybody in the world? Have you met every other master teacher in the world to determine that I'm the only master teacher with all the answers? That has to be known, because you haven't met everybody in the world. There's billions of people in the world, and there's no way possible you've met and talked to everybody in the world. And I know you're probably thinking, well, why hasn't this master teacher or that master teacher made as much noise and much of an impact as my master teacher? Maybe because that master teacher's not out there doing it in that way and don't care to do it in that way. Everybody's destiny is not the same, and everybody don't decide their destiny to be the same. So the next thing I want to get on is relationships. Shaky, because I remember posting something about having no secrets in your relationships. Male and female relationships, not business relationships and stuff like that. Male-female partnerships or relationships. I remember talking about having no secrets, and certain people was like, well, my job basically keeps me from, I gotta be confidential. I can't tell my mate things that happen on my job because my job deals with communication. And I'm going to say this: if you're spiritual, as you say, this is to spiritual people or metaphysical people, the ones who say that they're into consciousness, mind consciousness, and science, or conscious that way, where they're open and honest, and they won't stray from that. You need to get another job, bruh or sister. Need to get another job, because it's not in line with spirituality or your spirituality, unless your spirituality is to keep secrets from your partner. Because I can't see a home functioning with secrets. You should be able to tell your mate everything. If your mate runs their mouths, then that's a person you should not be with, because they're not spiritually on that level where honesty and truth is the way. There's no way in a relationship honesty and truth could be the way, and you're keeping secrets from each other. People don't realize, when you think about community, community means common unity. There's things in common that unify each other. Not sameness, but things in common. Communication's the same way. If you go into an etymology dictionary and you look up the word communication, it deals with unifying, sharing in the experiences and participating and keeping things together. That's why businesses thrive, because they communicate. At least the top heads do. So if you and your partner's in a relationship, you two are the top heads, they should know what's going on at your job. If you have one, they should know what's going on within your business. They should really know what's going on within the household, and there should be no secrets kept between one another. There's no loyalty in keeping secrets from each other. There can't be trust there. There can't be any of that. So I wanted to get on that relationships. Another thing I want to get on that reigns prevalent in the conscious community, and let me say this first, they say there is no conscious community, and that's not true. There is a black conscious community, or a melanated conscious community. It consists of Hebrew Israelites, anybody that say they have higher knowledge, Hebrew Israelites, Moors, Nation of Islam, Rastafarians, Nuwapians, black Muslims, people who practice the Sufi practices, the Marcus Garveyites, some people who's not Marcus Garveyites, but they claim red, black, and green anyway, the RBG movement, and so many other movements. Yes, indeed, there is a black or melanated conscious community. Now, still getting on relationships, there's also this imbalance and this influx of what we have fallen for in the melanated conscious community, and that is, we have certain factions. These both keep us separated and keep us fighting and keep us apart, which is one of the reasons why we haven't made progress. You have the people like some of the Hebrew Israelites. I'm not going to box all of them in, because all of them don't do this, but there is a large population of Hebrew Israelites who say the man is that person. It's the same as how it is in religion. The man, the patriarchy, is that person who rules, and the woman's subjective to him, and she has to do what he says, and he rules, okay? But then you also have the other imbalance, where you have some of the Kemetic people who really don't understand the Kemetic science the way they say. Even some of the metaphysical who don't understand the science the way they say. You have them saying the woman, the matriarchy, is the head, and that the man's subjective to her. That is straight imbalance. Straight imbalance. And a lot of that women rule type stuff, just like how the male supposedly rule type stuff comes from religious indoctrination, the people that misuse Christianity, the people that misuse Islam, the people that misuse Judaism. The same with the women rule type stuff. All that stuff come out of the basic feminist movement. A lot of that stuff came out of the feminist movement as at a time where black melanated people were together, the male and female, to separate the female from the male. To create imbalance, they knew it would do that. So we can't be falling for these tricks. We need each other. There's no way that one can function without the other. Not in this day and time. I hear people say the parthenogenesis thing and how the female reproduced by herself, but right now she's not. And no man is definitely not reproducing by itself. So if one feels subjective to the other, that's not balance at all. Both have a natural function in nature. Both are really aspects of one creator. And manifested form, and makes up that one creative force called balance. And that's why there's so much strife and turmoil going on with the male and female, because there's this fight and there's this struggle, because they won't become one again. They won't mix and mash and play their roles that create that balance. Okay. Another thing is families. We need family again, big time. Okay? I often hear that secret societies, governments, religions, political systems, whatever, I hear those are the people that rule the world. But actuality, secret societies don't rule the world. Governments don't rule the world. Religions don't rule the world. No matter what people say, they could say yes they do, because a lot of people follow religion, but this is not true. Who rules the world? Families. Families rule the world. Just think about it. Secret societies are made of who? Families. Governments are made of who? Families. If you ever notice and you look in governments, these people are related. Presidents and senators and Republicans and Democrats, they are all related. Families make up governments. Families make up secret societies. Families make up religions. The Catholic Church is I'm talking the heads of the Catholic Church are families. They are families. They rule those factions of religion. So it's families that rule the world, not governments, not secret societies, not religions. Let me give you an example. Right now in the black or the melanated conscious community, we have Brother Polite. Brother Polite has 3 wives, okay? Him and his family do everything together. They organize, they do business, they teach, they write books, create products, whatever they do. But notice that as a family unit, how progressive they are, because families rule the world. These Brother Polite and his family was able to do in 1 year what it usually takes some people 15 to 20 years to do, because they do it outside of a family unit. Then you have the Rockefellers. They're families. These are a family of people that rule the world. The mobs and the mafias, they rule the world. They work together. These are all families. Peep what I'm saying. Families rule the world. Okay? So they do. Who else? Oh, even if you just go into different cultures, the Li bloodline in China, they rule over there. They run a whole lot of things. They even have things in America that's established. Families rule the world. The Trumps, they're a family of people that have businesses, etc., and they rule certain factions of the world. McDonald's, the people that run a family. Who else? The Bushes, the Clintons, these are families of people. The DuPonts, these are families of people. Families rule the world. This is just a fact. So we need to get back to family, because families create communities. Communities create what it takes to run society, a real community. Because a real community, again, has community. They'll come together and work together for progress, for those purposes. So families rule the world, don't get it twisted. Not secret societies, not governments, not religions, none of that. Families. So family must be re-institutionalized into the black or the melanated community. Another thing is the conspiracy theories. I wanted to get on that. A lot of us are so caught up in conspiracy theories that we don't progress. Like when I log on Facebook, all day everything is posted is about a conspiracy theory, or let me say an argument about religion. I think that's a distraction, arguing over religion. If we know religion fooled us in some type of way, mainstream religion I'm talking about, in some type of way, we should be past arguing and trying to prove a point about it. Every time I log on Facebook, I'll go into a group, they're asking a question about religion. Then you have some religious people that's coming on arguing, and I'm like, this is not making any progress. But then you see the people that post the videos about what we should be doing now, and they get ignored tremendously. You might see maybe one comment, but you'll see 50, 100, 200 comments all over an argument about religion. I mean, we know what it did to us, but how are we going to progress past it? Because if religion is creating the arguments, right, and the arguments are mere distractions of what we should be doing now in the now moment, then we are still falling victim to the same type of crap, distractions. So we have to get off of this distraction stuff and get into what we should be doing, which is unifying and bringing solutions. Arguing over religion is not bringing solutions. Here's a simple solution to religion. Whatever religion done to us that we have figured out it has done, do the exact opposite. If it has blinded us, stop being blind. If it has caused us to just believe, stop believing and start knowing the facts and the truth. Like, just do the mere opposite. Whatever's causing us to argue with each other, do the opposite. It's obvious that whoever created these things has infiltrated the conscious melanated or black community in some way, and now you're still arguing and ignoring the solutions. Every time somebody brings a solution, you argue about it. You say, well, that's not a solution. I'm telling you, everybody that I've been dealing with, and then the things that aren't solutions, go get guns, go out and just start shooting white people, let's go to war. And we don't have any type of militaristic power. No military power whatsoever, and you really want to send people out there to fight, and then say a person like me is saying that to promote fear. I'm not saying fear white people, Caucasian people. What I'm saying is it's not sensible to send people out here. Have they seen the videos I posted on YouTube about the weapons they have? You have paramilitary groups out here training the Klan, the skinheads. They're training. I mean, how to shoot a target, a moving target. They have guns that can shoot and go around walls and hit you. Like, really see where your body heat is, heat-seeking missiles, but in gun form that could follow you around. It's no sense. You just want to have people going out here dying for nothing. We need people to be on the front line to outsmart our so-called oppressor. That's what we need to be doing. We don't need to be out here trying to fledge an all-out war. We don't have any political power. We don't have any economic power yet. We don't have educational power for our children. We don't have any land. We don't own any natural resources. That is not a solution whatsoever. I don't care how many people try to preach it, how many people try to teach it, how many people try to make sense of it. I know we got these warriors, and we need warriors, but we don't need our warriors just going out there doing that yet. I mean, they could drop a whole bomb. Has people forgot about Hiroshima and Nagasaki? They dropped a whole bomb and destroyed a whole city. One bomb. So we can't play games in that way. We have to do things wiser. So we have to unify. What are we going to do without unity? I mean, I'm sick of Moors and Hebrew Israelites and Nuwapians and Black Power, all of them arguing. Like, we're getting nowhere doing this stuff. We have to bring forth solutions and unify. All we have is us. If we're sitting here constantly arguing and trying to make a point, trying to show who's the smartest, whose master teacher's the greatest, then we miss everything. You know, if you go back to ancient Kemet with Kush or the Nubians and the Kemites constantly fighting. Like that stuff right there, I know what they say, you know, we always have our inner turmoils, but this was beyond inner turmoil. Heads were being chopped off, structures was being knocked down, people were becoming slaves or indentured servants, as y'all say, but when I read the documentation of it, it mirrors slavery, even if it wasn't no word for slavery. And then our inner turmoils that went way past just inner turmoils, where you have the Africans. I know they say we didn't participate in slavery, but like I said, I have the documents, people have read it, where we were selling our own people to the slave master because we were warring with each other. So we made, because of our debates, our silly arguments, our fights, we made it that much easier for us to decline and fall into the hands of oppressive people and become the oppressed. We made it that much easier because today we're still doing the same thing. Like, we have the knowledge, we have the information, we have the technology, we have what it takes to succeed, but we refuse to because we're into these silly arguments with each other. You know? So, I don't want to take up too much time, but I wanted to express these issues. So, in unity and love, I have to make sure that I big up all my people. Yes, my black Christians, my black Muslims, my Nuwapians, all the people that join the unity paradigm. The ones who aren't arguing over their doctrines, over their beliefs, their dogmas. I have to big up all of y'all because y'all doing it big. Y'all showing that just because you a black Christian or a black Muslim, that you can sit down at a table and not argue over your beliefs or your dogmas or your doctrines. In fact, I big up y'all for using y'all beliefs and doctrines to unite. Like, y'all using it to come with solutions and not argue. So I have to big y'all for that. And but that's it. That's all I wanted to say. You know, 2012 is the now movement. Out with the old and with the now. Hotep, peace, salam. I'm out.